Just very quickly introduction. I'm co-founder, one of the three of JW Player. We're a company named after its main product. On the right side there, JW Player. Most of you, look, the ones of you that haven't heard about it have definitely seen videos in JW Player. As you can see, we run roughly 7 billion plays every month to almost 750 million people. And we do that because JW Player is a product, a white label product that we sell to websites or give away in case of non-commercial websites. And there's roughly 2 million websites are using us. It's from very large companies to very small ones. And we're very known for the video player, but in addition to those, we also have a full stack platform where we also do the encoding for you and an advertising solution where we run video ads. We're not selling video ads. We are running video ads from any kind of ad network out there. And if you compare JW Player to other platforms like the Vimeos and the Brightcoves of the world, there's probably 3 differentiators. The first one is that the video player has always been the best one out there, both in terms of performance, how fast it loads, how big it is, what it supports, and in terms of user experience, how easy it is to use, how recognizable the buttons are. The second part is that ad support again. We support every ad server, every ad network out there, so the entire ecosystem. Yumi was just here. We just announced a fairly extensive partnership with them. And then the third part is JW Player is very flexible. So if you go to a Vimeo or a Brightcove, you take their entire platform. With JW Player, if you are hosting or encoding your videos yourself, you have your own workflow, you can just grab our video player. If you like our video analytics, you can grab the player in the analytics. If you like the ad part, you can grab that. And on top of that, we have a lot of APIs, both on the player and on the platform side, to really build our software into your content management system or video analytics system. So what do we know about innovation? I'll show you a couple of items. From a high level, when I wrote the first version of JW Player, there was no such thing as an open source video player. There were a couple of consultancy companies. You could buy a video player from them, lots of money, behind the password. Months later, you could grab it. When I launched that video player, people can literally go to my blog, download it, try it, and then if it works, they usually kept on using it and grew with it. And one of the first companies that actually used JW Player was this small startup called YouTube. Back then there were 2 guys in a basement with a crazy idea to kind of give away free video hosting for everybody. And well, obviously they've been very successful. I've been sharing in their success by selling a 15 euros license to them, which was awesome. But on the back of that, of course, YouTube has grown. A lot of sites like YouTube has grown, and the install base and the usage of JW Player has massively grown as well. And then going further, you see a list of firsts on the slide, if we can get this slide up. And we're first on the HTML5 side. We're first with video advertising standards. And just this week, we're actually the ones to launch Weird Al with his video Techie, which some of you may have seen. I know if I can get that one up. Here we go. So it's an awesome video. It launched on Nerdist, one of our publishers. So what's interesting about this video is it got launched on Nerdist.com. Within the first 3 days, it got 10 million views. The corresponding video on YouTube has got I believe now 4 million views. So this is a really good use case of that it's very possible to reach a large audience outside of YouTube. They're also monetizing this through pre-rolls, post-rolls, and average CPMs are $20, $30. So they made a lot of money in a couple of days with just this video. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about the role of standards before jumping into the demos, because I think that it's actually very important to have certain industry standards from a technology point of view before you can actually build and innovate on top of it. If something is not built on top of a standard, it's going away within the next couple of years and being replaced by something similar, and then you get this endless cycle of redoing things. And case in point there is really the basic publishing of video itself, where in the early 2000s you had the QuickTimes and the Windows Media Player and the Real Player, and you had to do everything twice, encode your video twice or 3 times. And then Flash and Silverlight came along. They had obvious benefits, but again, you still had to like redo your video a couple of times. And then along came HTML5, and now with just a video tag, you can put a video on your web page. And now what also had happened is your videos don't work just on desktops, but also on other platforms. Of course, there's the iPad, where Steve Jobs said, like, I don't want to have any Flash on my iPad. But now you see all these smart TV platforms out there that also are running HTML5. You see watches, you see $50 Chinese tablets that are all running HTML5. So there's even see Windows Phone running HTML5. So there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it going on, and it's really about like getting that standard to build new things on top of that we think is very, very important. So with that, let me jump into a couple of actual experiments so we can see some of the things that are going on. So the first one I wanted to show is one, this is a technology that has been around for a while, but surprisingly sparsely used still to date. It's called adaptive streaming, and it's more underwater, but it's something I do want to share with you people. It's basically a way to distribute and play your video content without loading the video as an entire file. Underwater, really, the videos are chopped up into small pieces, and then only, as you can see in the demo, only the next chunk is being loaded from the server. And if you have videos that are 3, 4, 5 minutes, this actually saves you a tremendous amount of money, because all those chunks that are being downloaded and not being watched, if you look at something like on a website, you see that download bar, and there's a zoop, it races to the end, and you click away to the video. Like basically, as a publisher, you're paying for all that money, for all that bandwidth, and the video is not being watched. So that's something that adaptive streaming solves. And then on top of that, what's very common with streaming is that you actually get multiple qualities of a video in one run. And every time it's time for the video player to select a new chunk, it's going to reevaluate the stream and see where the quality is, and then jump up and down. So it's really, it gives you the best quality at all times. This immediately impacts the conversion and revenue, because of people, when the video quality is higher, people don't drop off, people stick around much longer. It's something that many of the higher end platforms like Netflix and YouTube and Adobe Player and others are basically using 100% of their time. So I definitely encourage your engineers to take a look at that. Another example is transcripts. So I think there's a couple of companies out here that think like Shallow24 or 3Play Media or Ramp, that really are now making it very cheap and efficient for you to caption all your video content. And this is a big deal to really unlock your video files. Think about things like these transcripts, where basically you can allow your viewers to read along with the video or read parts at their own pace, and really take that content to them in the way they like it most. And of course, it also makes your entire video searchable. So if I look for Mark Robertson here, he should be popping up somewhere here. And then, so if you have a video that's searchable, all of a sudden people, like you're not going to YouTube, click on the blurb, and then get the start of the video. You really are allowing your customers to jump into that part of the video and like expose all the content. Of course, this works very well for SEO as well. I think, so on our own website, we're also using like transcripts a lot for our blog videos. And one of our blog videos was the one on the Real Summit, where we actually stole the first place from Mark and his team. Sorry about that. But this is why you should really think about. This is why you should really think about like captioning all your content, making it accessible. On top of that, there's also things that these captioning companies can do around extracting keywords from your captions, and which you can use for things like search again, but also for related videos or ad targeting. Then I had another one. Let's actually have to go back to the presentation because this one is not on our labs yet. This one is direct from hot from the press. This is a demo around interactive video. So there's hotspots in the video. You click on them. You jump to the items in the video. Interactive video is something that is very. It's a hot topic. Nobody has really cracked the code yet. Don't know exactly what's missing or why it's not really there yet. Maybe a lot of the interactive video companies have very robust systems, lots of bells and whistles, lots of things floating around. Something like this is actually fairly simple and fairly straightforward. You can link to other pieces of content. What you can also do, what you see here, is this is the table of contents of this video itself, and you can jump within the video. So you can jump to the full screen part, or you go back to the table of contents and then say like, okay, let me actually go to the Q&A session, see what's going on there. So it really makes your video accessible. And you can also link to offsets in other videos, so you really get some sort of like video hyperlinking web. Another one, this one falls more in the like demonstration of technology cases. This one has this is an example of an ad schedule, a vast ad schedule. So this is a schedule that can be served up by any ad server. And it can, video advertising can do so much more digitally than just pre-rolls. And this one shows you a lot of the options and examples here. So as you can see here, there's the skip button for people that are not interested in the ad. They can skip the ad. Something that's very popular in YouTube now, where TrueView, which as they call their skippable format, is the majority of their revenue. And these economics really make sense. The advertisers only pay for the people that watch, the people that engage, and the people that do not engage are not dropping off. So the publishers are not missing out on those people. Other examples are things like overlays on top of the video, companion ads next to the video. They're not really core ad formats, but more supportive, very good to sell in combination with that pre, mid, post roll if you're towards brands. And then another example here is what we call an ad pod. It's actually a mid-roll with multiple ads. So instead of one ad, you get multiple ads back to back. And again, they're skippable. We especially at JW Player, we love ad skipping. And you can do things with these like competitive exclusion, make sure that if ad 1 is a Volvo, the ad 2 is not Mercedes, and sandwiching, so get your big ad up front, then there's a couple of other ads, and then you have like a smaller 5 to 10 second message to reinforce that brand. So those are really tools that you can use as a publisher to make sell very effective packages of ads. And not really reflected here, but parts of ad scheduling is also that you can target towards devices. So why would you pop up that companion ad on devices where basically there is no companion spot on a phone? Or the click-through, like if you have a car ad, why should the click-through go to this flashy website that doesn't work on a phone? Let's pop up a Google Maps that show you related or the closest dealers are. So those are really things that through such mechanisms you can get more targeted at and better at. And then another one that we actually just launched is TV casting support. So there's a lot of talk about multi-screen ads or multi-screen experiences, and we think that the AirPlay, Apple's AirPlay, and in particular Google's casting, Google's Chromecast, is really a model that is working great in this area, especially when you compare it to other boxes like Fire TV or Roku, where you have this like completely detached experience. People are watching TV and then they're on their phone doing something else. With this model, you basically control what's on TV from your phone. So you beam a piece of content to your phone, and again, these can have ads in them as well. And what you can do there is when the ad is playing in the main content, you can show the interactivity on your phone. So basically, this is a way to get interactive and the tracking, the clicking, and the like user engagement of digital advertising or web advertising onto TV. So you can skip the ad, you can pop to the companion, you can like open up the click-through. So there's a lot of things you can do with this, and this is really this is something we launched as an initial peek into this world. I think there's a lot of very interesting things you can do with this kind of multi-screen experience. Think about building playlists with your entire family, and then when you're sitting in front of the TV in the evening, like actually the playlist that you accumulated during the day of like Facebook videos and YouTube videos that you said like, those are interesting, you can start watching them. Or you can have all kinds of quizzes, which are interesting also for applications like e-learning, where you can, the video stops, you get the quiz. If people have it right, the video resumes, or like if there's a lot of wrong answers, you replay that segment, or you do another segment that clarifies what the message was. And then the last one, this one, like when we're talking about TV casting in a new platform, this one's also an interesting one. It's a little different in that, so you have the video, and actually you're able to look around inside the video itself. And that's something that we all know from panoramic photos. And really recently, this is now also possible with video, which is cool on your desktop and on your mobile phone, but it's really powerful if you think about devices like Google Glass and the Oculus, and like Sony PlayStation now has a VR glass, and then you can really sit inside your video and watch around, so be part of that piece of content. And as these devices become more prevalent, something like this becomes really powerful. Those 360 videos, there's many companies out there that actually build 360 video rigs. I'll show you quickly a few of them. There's companies like Surround Definition that will sell you cameras with lenses. 360 Heroes, they actually grab 6 GoPros, put them in a rig. So there's one up, down, left, right, and bottom, back. And then you kind of stitch those together afterwards with a simple piece of software. So just overall, like all the things that I showed here are not like future things. They're working here, and they're actually very, very achievable and very affordable to use as marketer or as an advertiser. All the demos that you saw, except that one with hotspots, you can see today on our website. The one with the hotspots you can see on our website probably next week, 2 weeks. With that, thank you for coming, and enjoy the conference.